Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. A real pleasure to have you here with us in beautiful Venice.
Pleasure to be here.
Maybe you could begin with a brief introduction to this incredible and very funny film, Coup. What can people expect when they watch it?
They can expect an amazing time and cinema-going experience. We were inspired to write this in the early days of COVID when it was a tale of two cities, and half the city was sentenced to years of harsh house imprisonment, half the city fled to their amazing secondary real estate. And we asked ourselves, what happens to this upstairs-downstairs relationship when the social order stops functioning, if only for a brief time? We laughed the whole way through writing the script, and we had an amazing time actually creating the picture.
No, I second that. No, I mean, we wanted to make a film people could enjoy, that's colorful, that's fun, that also like offers meaning if somebody is looking for it. And, that meaning, for us, we hope that the film speaks to class struggle and how divided like our culture is. And, but at the same time, again, if you're not looking for that and you just want to enjoy a film, it's a fun, dark, twisted movie.
It takes place in 1918 during the Spanish flu, and it's about a progressive journalist who's sheltering on his beautiful, lush, Gatsby-esque estate on an island, and he and his wife and their children are there with their staff, and they hire a new cook, and the new cook spearheads a rebellion to take over the house. And it's darkly hysterical, and it's full of suspense.
And the thing that really struck me is not just how original the setting, the story is, but the tone of it. I mean, it's kind of offbeat, and there's so much moral ambiguity, there's so much laugh out loud humor, but this real dark undercurrent too. So I wonder, were you thinking of other films or filmmakers? I mean, I think you've mentioned in the past, like Coen brothers, maybe films, other satires like Parasite.
That's exactly right. I mean, that was one of the most enjoyable parts about making this film. Was we knew early on we wanted to blend comedy and thriller, and I guess if you're just classifying the film, like, you would call it a dark comedy, but it's really much more nuanced than that. And we did inspirations like early Polanski, and the Coen brothers were a big inspiration, and The Servant, like Pinter was an inspiration for us as well. And so we found that that there's a very specific tone that this needed to strike, and it's like, we have such a shorthand at this point where like it either feels like Coup or it doesn't, and it's like, and hopefully that what we've created is unique. Like, we've been inspired by these other films, but at the same time, I think there is like a certain tonal world that is unique about this film, and that's one of the things that's been most gratifying for us in making it.
Speaking of Pinter, he had a unique name for this unique genre, which I think is fitting. He called it a comedy of menace. So it's not exactly a broad comedy where it's set up, punch. You're at times uncertain where to laugh, and you'll find humor in what would otherwise be thriller moments, and you'll find suspense in what would otherwise be comedic moments. And it was dealing in those gray areas, both tonally and in the makeup of these characters, and just designing the story generally, that appealed to us very deeply.
And this incredible cast. I mean, you've got this sort of triangle, with Floyd, Jay, and then Sarah's character, and they all just seem to play it absolutely tone perfectly. Did you kind of work with them to develop these characters? I mean, the sort of moral ambiguity and nuance and charm of Peter Sarsgaard's, interpretation is just amazing. And then how Billy also leans into this guy who's, he thinks he's doing the right thing. He's actually very earnest, and so sometimes our sympathies move towards him. We think, he's kind of being gaslit throughout the whole thing, but he's also a very flawed character. So how did you work with these amazing actors to bring out these characters?
They instinctually got it, which was a wonderful surprise to us. They got the tone, the dark comedy of the proceedings. And it was a truly collaborative experience. I mean, we did work, we discovered things on the day, in the moment, but by and large, it was a joint creation, and it was loads of fun to create.
Yeah, no, and I would just say that like we had written one version of these characters, but they certainly came with their own ideas and their own interpretation that I think in this case made our film a lot better. Like they you know, like Peter had ideas for Floyd that we had never imagined, and in a way, like I'm so happy that he was able to come in and voice those opinions, and Billy instinctively knew that Jay needed to be humanized. Like he can't just be this like stereotypical hypocrite, you know, this like white rich dude. Like he's got like there has to be nuance. Like as you mentioned, like he truly believes like that what he's doing is right, and it's a push and pull. Like he's fighting his own ego the whole film, and it's like there is a part of him that has not been corrupted, and there's a part of him that wants to do right, and it's really important for that side to coexist with the other side, obviously, which is funny and all that, and true in a way, but you know, as in real life, it is more nuanced. Like it's not so black and white, and we also didn't purposely, like intentionally, didn't create a situation where there was a hero and a villain. We didn't want that, and so which I think makes it more interesting. Yeah.
And in terms of the look and feel of the film, I mean, the settings are just so immaculately put together. And then I do love the way it all just sort of descends, kind of gets a bit Lord of the Flies, you know, like
totally.
all the sort of decorum goes out the window. Did you have a favourite scene to shoot or a favourite moment, or on the other side something that was really challenging?
I would say, I mean, the scene like in the middle of the film where Floyd is in the pool, and he basically at night he's swimming in Jay's pool, and Jay comes in and he says, "Hey, get the hell out of my pool." And he's like, "No, what are you gonna do? Fire me? Like you're fired, Jay." And so that's where where Floyd Monk takes control, where he shows that he's truly in control, that the social order has broken down, and this is his opportunity to be the Lord of the Flies. You know?
And I was thinking, without it being like a spoiler or anything, but you know, this sort of ending where it's like everything's gone back to normal, but has it? And you know, thinking about how maybe we all want to just forget that the pandemic's happened, but something in all of us maybe has changed, and we're all sort of yet to properly process what we've been through.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, one of the thematic currents we wanted to explore is this thin line between civilization and savagery. And I think at the end, and obviously not to give away anything, we want to suggest something about how that savagery is always lurking beneath what we take to be the civilized world. So it can revert back to normal. It's the same, but very different at the same time.
And do you think this trend of kind of these eat the rich satires, you know, are we getting some kind of catharsis out of watching this elite suffer a bit, because we think in real life they never get their comeuppance, really?
I think some of them are wish fulfillment, in that they only in this film do the rich get their, in these other films, the rich get their comeuppance, and that's the ending of the movie. I mean, we're trying to do something a little bit, or a lot more subtle and true to life.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because it's like this whole subgenre of Eat the Rich has taken shape over the past few years, and we didn't set out to make an Eat the Rich film as much as just make something that appeals to us. But it's cool to see this subgenre take shape.
And what does it mean to you to be here in Venice? And I know you're good friends, and going through this whole experience together.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. I mean, we've been friends since we were 6 years old. This is the first film that we've made together, and to be here and to finally like be at the point where people are actually seeing it, where audiences are going to see it, is really exciting. I mean, it's such an incredible festival. And a beautiful place, and this section, Gianorte specifically, it's all about bold, innovative filmmaking, and that's something that we aspire to with Coup. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's surreal and amazing to be here, and we couldn't be more thrilled.
Well, I absolutely love the film, and I've absolutely no doubt everyone else is going to as well. Thank you.